All right, so we are back with Beyond the Athlete, episode 9 now, with Marcus Beckett from men's basketball. Marcus, why don't you introduce yourself real quick?
All right, my name is Marcus Beckett. I'm a junior cybersecurity major from Harrisburg, Pennsylvania, and I'm on the men's basketball team.
So, men's basketball, winning the championship this year, winning it at home as well. Can you go into that experience a little bit?
Yeah, that was a great experience, man. Especially when we beat the team that beat us last year. You know, tensions were high. We all wanted that game way more than any other opponent. Like if it was Immaculata or Newman or Gwinnett or anyone other than Newman, it wouldn't have meant the same to everyone else on the team. So it was a good win that we got it over them.
Yeah, like you mentioned last year, 61 to 59 the final score at home. Newman won. So, a chance to get revenge at home court. How much did that mean?
Oh, it meant a lot. I don't know if you look at the video and you see everyone run on the court, you can tell like we wanted that game really badly. Like that meant a lot to us. So it was great that we got the win.
And especially this season, I don't know if you know this, but you played Newman quite a few times, and
Yeah.
the largest margin of victory was only 5 points.
Yeah,
So very closely contested.
I know.
But would you say they're your biggest rivals in conference?
For sure. I mean, in conference, there's a lot of tough teams in our conference, but I'd definitely say they're the one that usually comes down to the wire with them, as you said. This year is what we won by 5, and then we lost by buzzer beater at Newman, and then we won by 5 again. I
think
want
it
to
was
say,
5,
yeah,
Mhm.
that's great.
So when you won that championship, the final buzzer sounds, everyone storms the court, you start cutting down the net. Did that moment hit you right away, or did it take some time to sink in?
Me personally, it hit me when we were on the court, and Montel made a free throw to put us up 4 with like 7 seconds left, and at that point, it's really hard to come down since it's a 2-possession game at that point. So it started sinking in for me right away. But I know a lot of people, like I know our coach. I don't feel like it sunk in until we got to the locker room, but definitely sunk in right away for me.
That's awesome. Now, a big season for you as well. Last season, a little less than 30 minutes played. This season, almost 600 logged. So definitely a breakout year for you.
Yeah, I guess you could say that. Yeah.
Did you know that was coming? Did you expect that coming into the season?
I worked really hard this summer. My goal was to again not repeat what last year was like for me, which was just sitting on the bench. And obviously, I love my teammates, but I would have loved to be on the court more. But I definitely had a stroke of good luck with a couple people going down and me getting an opportunity. But I think I'm always ready for an opportunity, so I could definitely say I saw that coming. Yeah.
Was there any sort of discussion with Coach Rogers about a potential increased role?
At the beginning of the year, we always have our player role meetings where he tells us what he's probably going to expect from us this year. And so last year I got practice player, which means like you're not going to get in, but bring energy at practice. And then this year I got role player, which would mean I was a direct sub. So I did know I was going to be playing this year regardless, but we didn't have any sort of talk about when I started starting or anything after that. It just kind of happened.
And then, yeah, you did begin starting the first game of 2023, opening game for conference as well.
Yep.
And from that point on, didn't look back, didn't leave the starting lineup.
Yeah, I like to think I earned it, but definitely got some help from some people being injured, but it all worked out.
And of course, injuries definitely racked up throughout the season. What was that like, sort of? Because I think, if memory serves me correct, I may be wrong about this. There was a point where there were only 8 guys dressed for games.
We had 8 people at one point. It was definitely tough. Morale was low at practice for sure. Like we would get there and we couldn't even run 5-on-5 or 4-on-4 drills. So the most we were doing in contact was 3-on-3, but people were still like we knew we could win games. We just had to play together. There's not any drop off on our team whatsoever. So the last guy could step up and make just as much as an impact as the first guy. So it was definitely tough, but we all knew we were going to get through it. And once people got back, it just made it all that much easier.
And during that period last year, was there ever a moment where you considered, transferring, going to a program where you would have gotten more minutes?
No, not last year, but I would say that if my pattern of playing had continued into this year, I probably would have looked somewhere else just because I do love playing and I would have liked to be on the court rather than the bench. But everything worked out, so I wouldn't say that anymore.
Yeah, and, staying loyal to Marymount, sticking it out.
I love it here.
Yeah.
Big fan.
So you'd say loyalty is a big part of who you are?
Yeah, I did transfer high schools in high school, but I do like staying loyal. I don't like quitting or giving up on things. So
I respect that.
yeah.
And going back quite a while, actually, when do you think is the first memory that you have of playing basketball?
Memory would probably be like second or third grade when I was on the YMCA team in Harrisburg. But I've definitely been around it my whole life. My dad played college basketball, so I had the little tykes since I was an infant. So I've always been just, shooting hoops at some point.
So you'd say sports has been around your entire life.
I love sports. I love football, basketball. I've been watching a lot of baseball and soccer recently, but that wasn't really a big part of my childhood. Mostly football and basketball.
Was there any consideration of trying any other sports when you were growing up, or has it always been basketball?
I did play football. I was a tight end in midget football, or what I think it's called. Yeah, it's midget football in Harrisburg. But yeah, I was a tight end, wide receiver for like 3 or 4 years, and then I never got bigger, and I don't like getting hit, so I stuck with basketball.
That makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
So going into your personality on the court, how do you, or more accurately, how would your teammates describe you?
I think my teammates would describe me as someone who I try to always make the right play. I try to always put like my best effort out there as well, and I'm not really ever worried about scoring points myself. I'd rather just win. So I think my teammates would say that I'm a very selfless player. I like to watch others succeed just as much as myself. So.
How about off the court? How do you describe yourself, personality-wise?
I'm very energetic. I like people. I like hanging out with people. I like being around people. I love being outside. Like, it's a beautiful day outside right now. I'm probably going to go back outside once we're done. But I would say that who I am on the court and who I am off the court are very, very similar. I think that goes for most people. You can tell how someone is in real life based on how they play basketball.
I definitely agree with that. You know, you sort of, a lot of times, especially, you know, off the court, people sort of might hide who they are, but when you're on the court, you let those emotions really show.
Yeah, man, you don't really have a choice. Sometimes it just comes out, and you gotta live with it.
So, where would people expect to see you on a Saturday afternoon? What do you usually like?
Saturday afternoon? Probably at maybe a restaurant in Ballston or with my teammates just hanging out. Saturday afternoon's different. Maybe a Saturday night you might have better luck catching me somewhere.
Now, you mentioned you're a computer science major, correct?
Yes, cybersecurity.
Cybersecurity, thank you. Was that a change in major?
Yeah, I actually came in as a business major, and then I talked to my RA and teammate at the time, who was Steve Etienne, and then Xavier Reeves, and they were both like, yo, you got to join IT. Like, you like computers, and you don't know what you want to do with business, because I told them I didn't know what to do. And they were like, just look at IT. So I did an IT class my second semester of freshman year, and then sophomore year I switched to IT because I really enjoyed it, and I thought I was going to make a good amount of money when I graduated. So
yeah, do you have any particular goals for a career path, or do you just sort of want to see what comes next?
I would probably just want to see what comes next. I do want to be able to travel and like work from like remotely, so I can just travel the world and be able to do stuff from my computer. That was the main goal.
Is there any place in particular you want to travel to?
Not particular, but I do love the beach, so I would love to see like, I don't know, like Australia or maybe like Taiwan would be sick. Just places I've never been before, you know?
I definitely support that.
Yeah.
Yeah, Australia is top of my list as
Absolutely.
well.
Maybe not the spiders and stuff, but it's definitely beautiful.
Absolutely. It's very different as well.
Yeah, I can't imagine.
And in terms of plans for next season, do you have any sort of goals or things in mind for the basketball season?
Definitely want to win the conference again. That's the number one goal. But as far as personal goals go, I would like to make an all-conference team next year. We'll see how that goes. I would like to start again. We'll see if I can earn my way into like a deserved starting spot this upcoming year. But other than that, man, just win. Just a big winning guy.
Just win. Well, at Marymount, we tend to be doing a lot of that this year.
Yeah, we're killing it this year. Marymount's on the come up right now.
I'd say we're at the top right now.
What is it? The Commissioner's Trophy?
Yeah.
Is that what we're in the top for? Yeah, we're killing it right now.
Yeah.
We're
we
gonna
just
win
can't stop winning championships.
I know. We need softball and baseball and both lacrosse teams to pull through now. Let's go.
Well, baseball's looking real good.
I know.
Right now.
Big
softball
baseball
as well.
fan.
They've been on a good run.
I know. I'm telling you, man. Marymount's killing it recently.
Just got to close it out.
Yeah, that's all it comes down to, man. These games don't matter yet.
All right. Well, thank you so much for taking the time to join us here today.
Absolutely.
And let the people know where they might be able to find you.
Oh, dude. All you got to do is hit me up. I'll go wherever you guys want me to go.
All right. Thank you so much.
Absolutely.